Well, hello, welcome to Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books on in my favorite magazine, Romantic Time Book Review magazine. This is the D. Louise book series. Uh, no special effects, no fancy smancy music, no editing. What you see is what you get. And I'm Christina K-O-S-T-I-N-A. Read books, talk about books, no fancy stuff. So let's get to it today. And please check out my If Then Friday videos. And this is April 2014. And they always start with Regency, and they always end with Paranormal, Harlequin, and Erotica. The ones in between, they alternate depending on which section they're featuring that month. We did this for the March. The book came out in March. But they did a full page spread on Ken Harrison in April. They usually don't do the spread in the same month the author came out. They'll do the spread in either the month before or the after, and then they'll review the book in a just separate one, so they can get two things out of it. Promote the book and then review it, or review it, then promote it. Don't know. They did it sometimes, once in a rare while, they did it in the same magazine, but most of the time they didn't. They split it between two. So, no, I just literally, you know, me and my lack of organization, I just, you know, it was the top book. It was staring right at me. Shocking delight. Joe Beverly. I guess you'd take the price tag off. Hey, at least it's not over her face. You know how many times you pick one of these up and the price tag's over her face? I paid $5 for this book. And it's the third one in the series. 4.5 stars. Beverly, with her most masterful writing and keen knowledge of the Regency, sets this tone for a new novel in the Rogue series. David Kerslake, new Earl of Wynne, has the title on an impoverished estate and secrets to keep safe. He decides the only recourse is to marry for money. Daughter of a wealthy merchant, Lucinda Potter has no desire to marry, especially someone after her money. She decides to enter the London season and enjoy herself. Despite all the gossip of scandal that surrounds David, Lucy discovers that this is the man she does want to marry. Um, it's a good place for it. What a reckless rogue. The reckless rogue needs. I wish I knew how to fix it. I haven't figured out how to fix it yet. The lighting on this computer. What a reckless rogue needs. Vicky Durling, 4.5 stars. In the second of Sinful Scoundrel series, Durling brings the Regency to life in a wonderful, evocative fashion. His father has decided it's time for inveterate rake Colin Brockhurst, Earl of Ravenshire, to wed and threatens to sell the ancestral home if he doesn't. Colin decides to woo his childhood friend, Lady Angela Brenton, whom Colin informs her of his father's edict. Divorcee Angeline willingly offers her services as an architect and interior designer to restore his new home and make it bride worthy. And as they work together, they fall in love. Always. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Allergy. What you doing? Um, this is, ah, didn't I get it? Oh, The Seduction of Miss Bridgerton. If you have not seen, it's one of my very, very first if thens. The Bridgertons versus the Mallorys. And then there's Regencies, and then I'll feature the Sinsters. The Seduction of Miss Amelia. Wait a minute. I've got two different books here. Wait a second. Nope, nope, I'm right. The Seduction of Miss Amelia Quinn. Good guy on the cover. Oh, before I forget, shout out to Lisa Nada. Shout out to Trudy, faithful watcher, and Selena, and Z-Book Nook. Thank you, ladies, for watching. Most appreciative. So, Polly Quinn, The Seduction of Miss Amelia Bell. 4.5 stars. And for the record, most of the books I choose here are at least 4.5 or 4 stars. Every once in a while there is a 3. But most of the time I choose 4.5 stars. Quinn captures the aura of Highlands and its people as well. Her portrayal of the Scots and English conflict and contentious history is so well told that the readers feel they are part of the event. Edmund McGregor loves Scotland and would do anything to protect it from being ruled by England. In an attempt to stop the passage of a dire law in Parliament, Edward plans to kidnap Amelia Bell, whose father and betrothed signatures are required to pass it. Amelia is only interested in meeting her true love and not forming a political alliance, but both come to pass when Edmund abducts her. Um, what's this one? Amanda Quick, otherwise engaged. We are several people. Did you know that? We are several people. Um, she is Jane Ann Krentz. She is Amanda Quick. She is Jane Castle. I like that. That's good. What's the? There it is again. Amanda Quick, otherwise engaged. 4.5 stars. Whether writing as Amanda Quick or Jane Ann Krentz, this author always delivers novels that draws readers into the story. Travel writer Amelia DeCanster is on her way home when she rescues a wounded Benedict Stambridge. He's not just a scientist but a spy for the crown. Thanks to Amelia's skills, he recovers and completes his mission. Back in London, Amity is nearly abducted by the serial killer known as the Bridegroom. Benedict fears his connection to Amity is the reason for the assault. He proposes they fake an engagement to protect her. Their investigation leads from ballrooms to the asylums. Interesting. Um, Wallflower Gone Wild. Bull or Stars. It's one wildflower down, two to go in Rodale's delightful, humorous, and sexy series. Being a model of propriety hasn't helped Lady Olivia Archer find a husband. After 3 seasons, she's earned is soubrette prissy miss. Her parents are so desperate they accept suit from Phineas Cole, aka Mad Baron. Olivia's horrified he has been accused of killing his wife. Her only hope is to ruin her betrothal by becoming a scandalous bride to be. Studious Finn desires a quiet bride, but his slightly naughty betrothed has him leaving signs behind to pursue her. Hmm. A last one. MJ Rose, The Collector. We have 2 books in this month named Collector. Collector of the Dying Breaths. Breathing breath. 4.5 stars. In this third book about French perfume family, Rose masterfully combines romance and mystery and dual timelines connected by reincarnation theme. The storyline and extensive historical details about Catherine de Medici' arrival in Paris as a young bride and later as a ruthless queen are fascinating. Jack's brother Robbie is dying. He asks her to continue his project of trying to find a secret 16th century formula that reanimates souls captured in a person's dying breath. Jack travels to bars in France where she finds the hidden workshop of Renee, perfume and poisoner to the Queen Catherine de Medici. Jack's partners in search of the formula include her former lover, an expert ancient language, and an obsessive, manipulative owner of Renee's property who will stop at nothing to obtain it. All right. On to mainstream fiction. The Other Story. 4.5 stars. The latest novel by best-selling author Kay is a dark, haunting look at how a humble young man with devastating family secrets transforms into a vain international phenomenon practically overnight. De Ronsay tells 2 stories, that of Nicholas' past and rise to stardom, and that of his luxurious seaside vacation in present day. A few years ago, Nicholas Cole published a novel that became an international bestseller and blockbuster film. Now a famous and highly sought-after author and celebrity, Nicholas faced Grace magazine covers and billboard advertisements around the world. While vacationing in a remote Tuscan seaside resort for a weekend, Nicholas hopes to find inspiration for a second book on a tight deadline. But the secrets of Nicholas' past, on which his previous novel was based, haunt him and threaten to shatter his cozy existence. The Seaside House. Let's see. The Sea House. Elizabeth Gifford. 4.5 stars. Gifford's superb magical tale will sweep readers away to a land not so far away, with long buried secrets that are just dying to be unearthed. The novel is told in multiple points of view, which is risky, but Gifford's light touch makes it work, and the shift in perspective is easy to follow. When Ruth and Michael buy a sea house, their hopes are high and both are anticipating the grand beginning of their new life together as they plan to start a family. But a shocking discovery leads Ruth on a trail of clues that swiftly jogs her memory of an old tale told to her years ago about mermaids and seal men. 100 years have passed since Reverend Alexander Ferguson was an inhabitant of the house, and his notes and diary help Ruth put the pieces of a puzzle together to solve the mystery of what happened more than a century ago. Random acts of kindness. I do not. Lisa Verge Higgins. 4.5 stars. Higgins' latest novel, page-turning novel, confirms her status as master storyteller. Her narrative beautifully chronicles the relationships and adventures of former friends with a heady mix of belly-deep laughter, tears, and empathy. Higgins offers a close, poignant perspective of the characters, places, emotions, and things that populate her novel. Three high school friends who haven't laid eyes on each other in a number of years, all at crossroads in their lives, suddenly find them car mates on a cross-country trip. Jenna, the shy misfit whose world is quietly falling apart. Claire, the bohemian whose search for answers has her asking more questions. And Nicole, the life coach whose own life is chaotically spinning out of control. See what happens there. The betrayal. Naomi Chase, 4.5 stars. Chase delivers an astounding sequel to Expose and Deception. Betrayal is brimming with tantalizing and addictive sex, gutsy dialogue, and confining and demented characters, all linked in a frenzied scandal that boggles the mind right up until the bombshell climax. Brandon Chambers and Tamia Luke are soulmates who are driven apart by unbridled treachery and obsession. Tamia is an ex-porn star. Brandon is heir apparent to a dynasty. Cynthia Yarbrough, daughter of a prominent pastor, will be the perfect wife for Brandon, according to their parents. Brandon gets Tamara released from prison for 2 murders she did not commit, but it soon becomes clear she's not the only one trapped by their past. Smoke, come here. Come over here. Stop screaming. 4 friends. Oh, come here. Come over here. Come on. Come here. Come over here. Come over this way. Smoke. Smoke. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. What have you got sticky here? No? I know we haven't done brush time today yet. We need to do brush time. Where was I? Hey, your feet are all wet. Were you in the water dish? Um, where was I? Oh, yeah. Don't knock over my leaning tower of Pisa. Alright, where was I? Robin Carr, 4 friends. Um, Carr makes readers laugh and cry with her deft exploration of domestic abuse, mental illness, and infidelity. Huh. What sad topics. Life is good, if chaotic, for social worker Jerry until she discovers her marriage isn't what she thought it was. leading her to question everything in her world. At the same time, her best friend in the neighborhood are each hitting their own crisis. Andy is a divorced number two, and Cherokee healing Sonia has a total break with her reality when her husband walks out. Into his rapidly changing circle of friends slips reserved, mysterious BJ. As the women try to find themselves in happiness, they must still deal with their children, their jobs, and their lives. The lighting in here is bad. But let's see. I put a note down. In last month's, see, they don't do these in the same book. It's a trilogy. Robin Carr. You can't. I guess it works. All right, so we are up to Aaron Duffy. The idea of him. Oh, wait a minute. We skipped. Well, wait. We'll come back to her. The idea of him, Holly Peterson. The idea of him, 4 stars. In her latest novel, Peterson deftly constructs a story that is part intrigue and part personal introspection against the backdrop of a high-powered world of media. Public relations executive Allie Crawford confronts beautiful Jackie Malone after finding Jackie and Allie's husband Wade locked in a laundry room together. Jackie asks Allie to trust her, assuring Allie that the situation is not what it appears. Jackie, a business student at Wharton, seems to have some intimate knowledge of Allie's life, and Allie finds it difficult to trust her, even as unlikely friendship develops between them. See what happens. So then, did we do? Yeah, we did that. We did that one, we did that one, we did that one, did that one. So, On the Rocks. And Duffy. Another one with the pastel colors. You know, if she was going to do On the Rocks, why didn't she do a mountain cliff? 4 stars. Take a 30-something woman jilted before she gets to the altar, put her back in the dating pool with some quirky friends and a possible psychotic mother along with the ride, and you have Abby Summer at the beach. Oh, okay, well, that explains it now. Abby is convinced her life is over. After 12 years together, she discovers her fiance is dumping her via Facebook. But just as she's trying on wedding gowns to make things worse, her copycat younger sister is getting married. Abby's friend Grace convinces her that a summer at the beach in Rhode Island is exactly what she needs. Maybe she'll find a hunk. And Forget Me Not. Let's see. Up. Wait a minute. Forget Me Not, Fred Michaels. Do I have it? It would help. Are you all having a good day? I do not know. You know, it would help if a person put these things in order, but she does not. We've already done Misengaged. Put that over there. So maybe I did not get this one. I don't see it. And I skipped one in the Regency. We'll have to go back. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's for the other thing. That's for the other thing. Yeah, I think that's for the other thing too. No, that's for this one. We'll have to go back and do a Regency. So I do not have. Okay. So what page was the. No special editing here. Here we go. Fern Michaels, Forget Me Not. 4 stars. Michaels is just keeps getting better and better with each book. Packed with suspense, romance, and family drama, there's truly something for every reader. Lucy Brighton is undeniably successful. She has a comic strip card line and a children's cartoon under her belt. She's worked to bury her unhappy childhood, filled with memories of her cold, unaffectionate parents with whom she now has almost no contact. When a phone call alerts her to her parents' death in a car accident, Lucy nonetheless heads down to Florida to wrap up their affairs. Shortly thereafter, she discovers a hidden safe in her parents' home, and finds unbelievable items. I wonder what she finds. That might be interesting. Treasure. Her mother kept her schoolwork. Who knows? Um, Butternut Lake. Lighting here is horrible. First in a new trilogy up at Butternut Lake, and lifting, especially for those who have experienced loss or have a lost loved one in war. Each of the 4 core characters in this novel struggle with loneliness, but in their own different ways. After losing her husband in the war in Afghanistan, Allie Beckett and her 5-year-old son return to Allie's small hometown of Butternut Lake, trying to find her way in life after becoming a widow. Allie reconnects with Jax, her childhood friend, and Caroline, the owner of a local cafe. What Allie isn't prepared for is the attraction she feels to her neighbor, Walker Ford. So we'll see what happens there. And let's go back and check in with one of my authors way back when. And let's see. It got 4.5 stars. 3 weeks with Lady X. Smart heroine, central hero, witty repartee, and a penchant for delicious romance have made James a favorite. Bringing back characters from her Desperate Duchess books only adds to the pleasure of spending 3 weeks with Lady X. Thorn Daughtry, the illegitimate son of a duke, has made his fortune. Now he's ready to find a wife. He sets his sights on the perfect miss, but it's her mother he has to please. Thorn purchases a rundown estate and seeks the help of London's most coveted decorator, Lady Exobia India. No lady and no engineer, she accepts the task of transforming Thorn's home. And redecorating brings them back together. Could see that coming. Alright. On to teen. 20. Gods. Dreams of Gods and Monsters. Messed up title there. A book cover. Or snakes or whatever it's supposed to be. Lanny Taylor, 4.5 stars. With unparalleled elegance and skill, Taylor delivers a mesmerizing and explosive conclusion to her Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. Karu and Akka must put aside their differences to bring their people together in an effort to stop Joel and his angel army from destroying both Earth and Eris. An alliance shift and unforeseen enemies arise. The star-crossed pair will find their love, hope, and forgiveness in challenges like never before. And the Museum of Intangible Things. Wendy Wonder. Heartbreaking, adventurous, and poignant, Wonder's latest should be savored like a decadent dessert. Hannah and Zoe have always looked out for each other. That's just what best friends do, and in backwoods New Jersey, there isn't much else going on. Hannah is brainy, controlled, and maternal. Zoe is opposite, wild and caring. Together, they achieve a balance that will help them cope with Hannah's alcoholic father and Zoe's artistic brother. See what happens. And I think that's it for teen. Um, yeah. Let's head on to mystery. Lady who we are going to be reading on this series, on this channel at some point. I'm working on collecting her books. I'm working on collecting Woods, um, Perry Woods, and maybe Sanford, and there's another one that writes a lot of. We'll work on it. Death on Blackheath. 4.5 stars. A breathtaking book filled with suspense, the Charlotte and Thomas Pitt series continues with tightly woven mystery. There's this one, and then there's the Monk series. Thomas Pitt, head of special branches, assigned to two crimes that seem beneath him. Signs of bloody confrontation are found outside the home of a naval weapons expert, and his wife's lady maid has disappeared. Could this be related to the naval secrets the man knows? When a woman's body is found in a nearby quarry, the pressure is on Pitt to bring the investigation to a close. It's got the good paper, too. Every once in a while, I'll mention the good paper. This paper's thicker than normal paper. And I always say that that's when a publisher set knows your book's going to be good, that they get the better paper. Murder at Westminster. You know, I did not check, um, but we may have done, I just had it. I think maybe we'll do these two also for the channel. I may have done one already. I'll have to go back and check. 4.5 stars. Murder at Westminster Abbey. Cormac takes readers from the glittering wealth and luxury of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth to the tawdry life in the pleasure quarters, each described vividly and accurately. Young Kate is again loyal, clever, and a shrewd detective. Elizabeth is to be crowned Queen of England, and the music and shimmering parties rule at her court. But Elizabeth is no more safe now than she was in exile. Someone is killing women who look like her, and the court seized with politics and intrigue. It's up to Elizabeth's personal musician, Kate Hayward, to distinguish the Queen's allies from those who want to take her place. Yes, we have done this. We've done the first two. At least the first one, and I didn't like it. I'll be absolutely honest, I did not like it. So you'll have to go check out that series. And this is another lady that I've been collecting. Allison Brennan. 4.5 stars. Allison Brennan is guaranteed to excite fans with the launch of a new suspense series featuring a relentless investigative reporter determined to uncover the truth. With Maxine Revere, Brennan has created a complicated and compelling new protagonist whose privileged background provides her with the freedom to advocate for the victim. 13 years ago, Max's best friend was murdered, and another friend, Kevin O'Neill, went on trial for the crime. Kevin got off, but many believe he was guilty, not Max. Max is now an investigative reporter with her own TV show, and her in-your-face style of investigation gets answers. It also makes enemies. All these years later, Kevin has allegedly committed suicide, but his little sister Jody doesn't believe it, and she wants Max to investigate. And Lisa Scottoline, keep quiet. 4 stars. Scottoline brings tension to a boil in her latest novel. Her characters are believable and protagonist is sympathetic despite making a truly horrific choice at the start of the novel. In hopes of bonding with his teenage son, Jack Buckman allows him to drive illegally with a learner's permit at night. When a tragic accident occurs, Jake decides to leave the scene to save his son from landing in jail. And they agree to keep the truth from everyone, including Jake's wife, a judge. Jake's choice triggers a series of events that changes his family forever. Always tell the truth. Always turn the truth. Oh, how did I not get this one? I don't got it. I don't think I've got it. I might got it. If you haven't checked out these videos, go check out these videos. I did them all. I'm doing them all. I'm anxiously waiting the next one, which is why I can't believe I might even have it in my bookcase. I didn't even look. I didn't see this until I just turned the page. So we're gonna do it without a picture, but I definitely absolutely suggest checking out my video on it because I do. I'm almost positive I own it. Um, but it's in the bookcase in the bedroom, and there's someone sleeping up there, and I don't want to go in there. So, I don't think it's over here. I've done all of these, and I'm waiting. I'm anxiously waiting for the next book. So go check these out. Murder at the Breakers. I'm almost positive I have this. Let me look. Oh, he's upstairs. I found another one though. I found the newest one. So this is the newest one. Please go check out all of my series on this. I love this series. She's a she's a reporter, but she's also got rich relatives. She's not with money herself, but she's got rich relatives in the New York 400. And she starts off single, and then she starts dating, looking at this cop a little bit. There's a little bit of a uh, him and her type three-way, but they never. I think she kisses the cop just like on the cheek once, and that's it. But then she gets involved with the reporter. I mean, the other reporter who also happens to be a billionaire for this time period, and they have their trials and tribulations. But this is the first book. Um, this is where it starts. And I don't have a picture, and the book is upstairs, so I'm not gonna go get it. But because it's in the bedroom. But this is the new one. Um, this is the book that started it all. The first Gilded Newport mystery is a great effort with intriguing characters and a solid mystery, taking readers back to the summer of 1895 in affluent Newport, Rhode Island. Maxwell has written a delightful complex of tale full of suspects. And it is. It's a really good book, and it's got four stars. They're all 4 stars. The Vanderbilts are the richest family in Newport, but distant relative Emily Cross eschews her family's wealth. Emma has chosen to live a life less than extravagant and works as a reporter at the Newport Observer. Oh, go check out this video. This is where her brother gets arrested for the murder of somebody and he didn't do it. The brother was drunk and the murderer knocked him out so he would be found at the scene of the crime the next day. So go check that out. Go check all the reviews for Alyssa Maxwell on my channel. Um, so I don't think I have this one either. Um, how did these? My to be read pile got into my Flashback Monday pile. Okay. All right. What else have we got here? Nevada Bar. Destroyer Angels. Um, four stars. Fans of survival stories will enjoy Nabar's latest Ann Pigeon novel. Park ranger Ann Pigeon joins a couple of girlfriends, one of whom is paraplegic, and her daughters for a camping trip in northern Minnesota. After going on a solo canoe trip, Anna returns to the camp to find that four armed men have taken the women hostage. I hope she sneaks up on them and saves the day. And I just had it. Um, this book was in our gardening, or will be in our gardening. When does this gardening if then? I did a gardening if then the first week of June, and this was one of them. Beverly Allen Bloom and Doom. I just saw it. Where'd it go? I just saw it. There it is. 4 stars. Allen's new series is off to a great start as she brings readers into the madness of a local murder and secrets that residents will do anything to keep hidden. Florist Audrey Bloom has studied the meaning of different types of flowers and uses this knowledge to create meaningful bouquets for Bribe. Her ex-best friend Jenny Whitney is to marry the town's eligible bachelor, and she comes into the Rose and Bloom to order the wedding flowers. Audrey senses that something is off. When Jen returns to cancel her order, Audrey's suspicions are confirmed. But now Jenny wants a job at the flower shop. Audrey sends her home with some tools to practice. When Jenny's ex-fiance is found dead in the car with one of the tools as the murder weapon, girls are suspected. See that coming. Are we? That is the end of the mystery. And I've still got. This must be my to be read pile. And this is my to be read pile. And let's see, no. Oh, we haven't gotten it. On to romantic suspense. And this book showed up unexpectedly the other day. So I was like, you know what? This is familiar. 4.5 stars. Heather Graham, Waking the Dead. Dark, dangerous, and deadly, Graham has uncanny ability to bring her books to life using exceptionally vivid details to add depth to all the people places. In 1816, Henry Sebastian Hubert invited the finest imaginations of the day, including Lord Byron and Percy Shelley, to a medieval castle. They create horrors previously unseen using words and paint to tantalize and thrill. With Herbert's painting a masterpiece that was fittingly titled Ghosts in the Mind, now Michael Quinn returns to help New Orleans Police Department investigate a brutal murder that lacks tangible evidence. Daniel Caffrey, a local artist who was part of the previous investigation involving obsessed object, is now involved with Quinn, though they trying to go slowly the powerful emotions together. How does this I don't know. Doesn't make sense. See what happens. Um My favorite author. I love her, Eve Dallas. We used to get Miss Roberts. We used to get 5 books a year from her. We'd get 3. Nora always writes in trilogies. And J.D. Robb, we'd get 2 Eve Dallases and then 2 novellas. And that would be the 5 books, but she hasn't done novellas in a really long time. The Collector, 4.5 stars. Roberts puts her own inimitable spin on a Rear Window-esque story of greed and murder as a shocking crime brings the world of Lila Emerson and famed Ashton Archer into direct collision and places them more in jeopardy than they ever dreamed. Up-and-coming young adult author Lila Emerson enjoys being a professional house sitter, but she gets more than she bargains for while surreptitiously observing her temporary New York City neighbors. Lila witnesses what initially appears to be the murder-suicide of a model and her boyfriend Oliver Archer. When Lila inadvertently meets Oliver's brother Ashton, he insists the brother, who is incapable of such violence as Ashton and Lila, begin to investigate on their own. They discover Oliver was playing in a rarified circle where priceless antiques are bought and sold or stolen. Interesting. And The Assassin's Heart. J.A. Casimir, 4.5 stars. Casimir's debut romantic suspense deserves a spot at the top of the genre. Not only is this novel sassy fun, but the author's research into the CIA and life of assassin is reflected in her work. Hannah Six Winslow is a professional assassin who works for the CIA. After a job goes horribly awry, she kills the wrong man. Six becomes the CIA's next target, which forces her to assume a new identity and start a new life. While on business in Hawaii, Six's former partner, Ben Miller, managed to track her down. What will happen? Um, Midnight Pursuits. Allie Kennedy. 4.5 stars. Rival members of 2 mercenary organizations must again join forces when assassins hit too close to home in Kennedy's latest. Although Juliet hasn't seen her foster brother Henry Noel, she's devastated when she gets a call saying he has been shot and is dying in Belarus. When Juliet arrives at Henry's deathbed, it appears that Henry was not the target, but rather it was his fiancée who was killed first. Coldly and methodically, Julie sets out to avenge them both. See what happens. She can hide the other half of that triangle. Melinda Lee, 4.5 stars. Lee really knows how to think readers' hearts away when her poignant romantic books just keep biting their nails in heart-pounding suspense. After the horrifying ordeal of Abby Foster's kidnapping, she decides to move to Pennsylvania and enjoy the fresh air from the mountainside. 3 years have passed and Abby's luck hasn't improved. She lost her memory of the accident that caused her car to sink into the Susquehanna River. Officer Ethan Hale is intrigued by his math teacher's strange story, but the pieces of the puzzle don't fit. Um, You're Not Safe, Mary Burton. 4 stars. In her latest, Burton crafts an entertaining mystery infused with suspense, scared, gritty, yet vulnerable. When the body of her ex-boyfriend, Rory Edwards, is found hanging from a tree near the border of her line of her property, vineyard owner Greer Templeton must cope with old memories. Texas Ranger Teck Bragg is investigating Rory's murder, which leads him straight to Greer. With Vengeance. Oh, only 3 stars. Here we'll just show it. With Vengeance, only got 3 stars. Um, in Jacoby's with a Vengeance, covert CIA operatives are trying to stay one ahead of a mole, and the action is nonstop for page one. The motive behind the betrayal is not deeply buried, but is more about the exciting escapades of the heroines and her desire to keep her partner alive. On to sci-fi, and I don't think there's only one sci-fi. Had a hard time trying to find these much. Excuse 4.5 stars. Mark's relatable lead will have you simultaneously laughing and feeling sorry for him. Level 8 telepath Adam was kicked out of the guild for drug problems, not solely his own. Since then, he's been freelancing for the Atlanta PD. While it's not the most secure job, it does come with a paycheck and keeps Adam busy and away from drugs that got him kicked out. I don't know how that makes it sci-fi. Well, I guess the telepathy. Inspirational. If you haven't watched my Amish, if then you should do that. Hmm. Rosanna M. White. While Culper's Ring historical spy series keeps getting better, this installment intricate and terrific plot and twisting heart-stopping intrigue, as well as heroine's deeply moving journey of faith, grace, and redemption, create a memorable book. With a soul hardened by youthful heartbreak, Marietta Hughes has willfully abandoned her principles and faith. The widow of a rich slave owner, she once reveled in the improper attentions of her late husband's charming brother and her inherited wealth, but now feels only a sense of inescapable self-loathing. She's shocked out of her mental and spiritual temper when she discovers that generations of family have served as America's most resourceful spies. She wants to be a spy now. Um, The Pelican Bride. Beth White, 4.5 stars. Returning cruelty for cruelty is a part of the reality relations between European settlers and Native Americans in brutal world of 1704. Often in a prison, Genevieve and her younger sister Annie flee to the persecutions of France with the prospective husbands and freedom in Louisiana, only to discover a wild and politically unbalanced colony where no one is secure. Um, Beverly Lewis, The Last Bride. Like I said, if you haven't checked out my Amish podcast, go do so. Last Bride, Beverly Lewis, 4 stars. Vivid imagery captures the reader's attention as Lewis massively tugs at their heartstrings. The sisters' alternating voices and interwoven storylines demonstrates the trials make one stronger. Tessie Ann Miller and Marcus King are love and plan to marry, but that adamantly opposes it. They decide to elope and continue to live separately in their Amish community until they can get their dad's approval. After an accident occurs, Tad seeks out Tessie seeks out the counsel of the local wise woman. Okay. The Amish groom. 4 stars. The Men of Lancaster County series centered on beliefs and how they change. Tyler Anderson loves his Amish grandparents and the story of the life they have provided for him since he was 5 years old. But he has started to wonder why his father didn't try harder to come back for him. Tyler must soon make the decision to become an Amish or stay English. Rachel Hoke has been waiting for what seems like forever for Tyler to ask her to marry him. But unless he becomes Amish, they won't have a future. See what happens there. Sensible arrangement. Only 3 stars. This solid novel for fans of historical fiction, the relationship between Marty and Jake is surprisingly pleasant for this situation, and the information on the coming financial crisis of the early 1900s. Although fictional would resonate with the readers, the ending is predictable and does not completely wrap up the story. Oh, okay, so that's why I got 3 stars. All right, on to contemporary romance. Brenda Novak, Come Home to Me. Four and a half stars. If you haven't started reading the Whiskey Creek series, get going. Novak's latest installment spotlights a love that refuses to quit and teaches us that fate always has the upper hand. Presley Christian and her son Wyatt return to Whiskey Creek to reunite with their sister. It's been 2 years and Presley is proud to admit that she's overcome her troublesome past, but she gets a sinking feeling when she spots her former love, Aaron Amos, in town. Aaron is back and forth in Reno, where he's opening a branch of the family auto body business. He doesn't want to take a step back, but he's come this far. But when he learns Presley has been keeping a secret, he has no choice but open to his heart. Blossom Street Brides, Debbie Maycomer. Damn. Well, it's pretty even if you can't see it. Master at writing stories that embrace both romance and friendship. Maycomer can always be counted on for a page turner. Three women's lives are about to converge as they learn about love. Todd continues to put his career ahead of his girlfriend. Lauren, it seems like he'll never propose, so Lauren takes a chance and discovers a love she's never dreamed of. Kristen Alley, Kaleidoscope. 4.5 stars. Rising star Ashley takes on the much-loved trope of old friends becoming lovers in her newest Colorado mountain. The authenticity explores PTSD and its varying systems in this wonderful tale. 9 years ago, Jacob Decker was dating Emily Holmes' best friend. He valued his friendship with Emma, but in the process of breaking up with Elspeth, Deck lost contact with Emmy. Now a PI, Deck is back in Colorado to work on a case. He's shocked to learn that Emmy's boyfriend Dane could be the leader in a burglary ring, and Emma is one of Deck's prime suspects. Let's see. Dash of Pearl. Larry Foster. Almost. I saw it someplace. Damn. I looked at that stupid thing for days. No special editing here. There it is. Foster. She got on this boxing kick there for a while. Um, Dash of Pearl, Foreigner Stars. Foster delivers yet again. Her fourth love undercover novel is a tightly plotted, cunning, clever, and overwhelmingly sensual tale. Tough as nails, Lieutenant Margot Peterson will do anything to bust a violent abduction ring, even uses herself as bait, but it's her unofficial sidekick, Daniel Risk, who puts her in the most danger. He's the one man Margot can't resist. I have a picture for this one, and there was a long, long waiting line for this one. Thought I had it. I'm almost. I know I have it someplace. Kristen Hayes waiting on you. Third and Third and in the Blue Heron series, Waiting on You embodies everything fans of contemporary romance are looking for. Colleen O'Rourke was so devastated from her first heartbreak that even 10 years later she refuses to date. But she spends time bringing other people together by playing matchmaker. And then her ex shows up. Um, Shirley Jump, Sweetheart Rules. 4 stars. Jump's expert storytelling shines as she delves into matters of the heart in her latest Sweet Sister story. Genuine and flawed, Mike and Deanna are peeling with their vulnerability. Coast Guard Lieutenant Mike Stark is on leave for 30 days when his ex-wife takes off, leaving behind their 2 daughters. Now in Rescue Bay, Florida, and facing sudden single fatherhood, he is the last person veterinarian and single mother Diane Tuttle expect to see. Luann McLean, Wildflower Wedding. I know I've had this one. It might have shown up for the flowers for June gardening. I have got to tape this. This is going to drive me crazy. It's got a rip in here. Um, in the latest Visit to Harmony, Texas, 3 familiar characters are getting their happily ever after. 3 houses on Rainbow Lane, a secluded place on a small lake, is the first home to longtime residents Dusty and Abby DeLame. The sisters have dreamed of living, so when a local poker tournament promises the winner funny and a trip to Vegas, Dusty enters. Fortunately, her childhood friend Kira O'Brien arrives in town just in time to teach her to play. Okay. Um, Recklessly Royal. The follow-up to Suddenly Royal is another light-hearted, imaginative jaunt with some sharp humor and dreamy details that mark Chase's debut. Princess Catherine de Linzel's entire life is revolved around her duties to her small European country. As a result, she's convinced that men will never love her for her until she meets her new sister-in-law's friend David, the first man to see beyond the tiara and see the real woman. J.C. Burton, Hope Ignites. Naked guy on the cover. Burton once again delivers in this small-town romance with a sexy hero and a likable heroine. The last thing cattle rancher Logan McCormick expects is to be smitten with an actress, but Desiree Jenkins is more than the bad girl reputation. She wants to get away from her Hollywood life, and especially the paparazzi and gossip magazines, and Logan thinks and his ranches are just what she needs. Okay? Um, and that's the end of contemporary romance. Although I think we missed one. Let me just double check here. No. Is that a Regency? I don't think it was a Regency. Oh, that's the other one. Okay. Okay. What was this? No, that was the other one too. Okay. Wait a minute. Did we miss a? Nope. On to paranormal. If you have not watched my Black Dagger Brotherhood book series, please go check it out. I did all of the Black Dagger Brotherhood books. And if you don't know this or not, but this channel called Passion Flicks or whatever is now airing the books as a series. And supposedly it's very, 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 very hot. 4.5 stars. Megastar Ward goes back to the beginning with the impressive style in The King. Readers were first introduced to the intricate world of the Black Dagger Brotherhood with the unusual courtship of Wrath and Beth. Trouble has been coming out of the King of Wrath and the Brotherhoods from two sides. This is the ongoing war with the demonic lessers and the challenge to the throne from the band of bastards. As Beth is half human, some are claiming she is not fit to be queen, and any child would not carry enough royal blood to be king. Beth recently had found herself yearning for a child, but Wrath is also adamantly opposed. And they do end up having a kid, by the way. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. A lot of these were not available, and I don't understand why, because I kept going, I own this, and I'd go and look, and I'd be like, no, I don't. Um, we will at one point do this series on this channel. The problem is, Asheron is so depressing that if I do a reread, I only read the second half. I will not read the first half. But this is a spin-off series, and I am collecting them all. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 of them so far. There's a couple more out there. And I'm not going to read the series until Sherilyn says that this is the book where Ash and Nick make up. I want to know they make up before I read the books prior. I know it's weird, but I will not read them until I know a makeup is coming. So, Illusion, 4.5 stars. Be careful what you wish for is the eternal warning, and young Nick Gautier is about to get a scary demonstration of why. The 5th chapter in Kenyon's amazing Chronicles of Nick series dumps an unsuspecting hero into an alternate reality that blows his mind. Following the death of his Malachi father, Nick Gautier has come into his full powers. Frightened that he could inadvertently destroy everyone he loves, Nick and his friends attempt to bind his powers. Something goes wrong, and Nick awakens up powerless in an alternate reality where his parents are Charisse and Bubba Burdette. Demons like Caleb and Simi are human school kids. Sadly, Nick's life in this reality is as much jeopardy as it was in the other one. And we missed a mystery one. Let me go back and look. We missed a mystery. And if you have not checked out my J.P. Beaumont series, please do and check that out. How can this? Oh, it's not in here. It must have been in the last book. It must have been in the last book. It's not here. It must be in my to be read pile. Sorry. But if you haven't checked out my J.P. Beaumont, yeah, we can just do it. This is the suspense series. Chuck Brewster, the former business partner of Allie Reynolds' tech enterpriser husband B. Simpson, once carried on an illicit affair with Clarice, B's first wife, while his own wife lay dying of breast cancer. Once the affair came to light and tore both families apart, Chuck and B's partnership dissolved. Now, decades later, Chuck is found stabbed to death in his bed with Clarice standing at the top of the staircase wearing a bloody nightgown and holding a knife. Now we have to prove her innocent, huh? She just picked it up. Why is this here? No special editing here. I don't know why this one's here either. That might have been the military one. So that's it. Let's see if there's anything over here in the A Cowboy's Angel, Pamela Britton. Oh, let me just write down Harlequin. War Stars by Pamela Britton. Determined to save older racehorses, veterinarian Mariah Stewart strikes a deal with horse owner Zach Johnson. She'll help Zach with his injured horses if he'll help her with her cause. As they work together, their attraction is unavoidable. But Mariah is sure that there is no hope of relationship between an animal rights activist who hates horse racing and a man who makes a living from the sport. See what happens? Primal instinct. Intrigue. 4.5 stars. FBI agent Connor Perego will do anything to halt the 10-month spree of a vicious killer in San Francisco, but he hesitates when he's sent after ex-profiler Adrian Jeffries, aka the Bloodhound, for help. The last time Adrian worked for the FBI, she nearly died, so she walked away. Initially doubtful about Adrian's gift, Connor is soon horrified by the toll it takes on her. When Adrian becomes the madman's target, Connor will go to great lengths to keep her safe. Michelle Stewart, The Sicilian's Unexpected Duty. Playboy Pepe Mastrangelo doubts the child Carrie is carrying is his. He still plans to keep her close until he's sure. Carrie despises Pepe because she thinks he's a user, just like her philandering father. Getting pregnant with Pepe's child, they'll look to, and she needs to help his help financially. In a close quarters, they will be able to resist each other again. Deadly Liaisons. Should be here. Romantic suspense. 4 stars, Ellie James. Casanova Valdez doesn't know what's come over him, but there is something about B&B owner Molly McGregor that catches his attention. Their attraction leads to a steamy night. Okay. Juliana Morris. 4.5 stars. The widow Skylar Gibson must deal with the father of her 14-year-old daughter, Karen, when Aaron Hostetler returns to town to run his grandparents' company and raise his young niece. Melanie and Karen and Melanie become friends. When Aaron realizes that he is Karen's father, he is determined to become a part of her life. Um, Trust in Us. Naked guy on the cover. Um, Workaholic Duffy barely has time for a social life. When a friend gets engaged, Alyssa joins the wedding party on a getting to know you trip to the Caribbean. She finds a kindred spirit in workaholic Gage Vincent, the groom's best friend. However, the dynamics of the friends may cause the two to get distracted from their own budding romance. Wyoming Promises. 4 stars. Carrie Mountain. Brigadier Jameson discovers a dead man and brings the bones to Quiver Creek Undertaker Lala Martin. Brigger soon takes a job bartending and seeks to keep his mentally challenged brother under the town's radar. When his boss recommends he build coffins for Lola, Bridger is happy for the work, but not so happy about the traction he feels for her. Okay. And I just saw it. I just literally saw it. Oh, hmm, guess not. I know it's in here. I just literally saw it. The picture for that book. But anyways, I think we're just going to call it quits for the day. Let me just take one more look. I know I've seen it. It might have been in the other one. It might have been in the other one, but I'm gonna watch. But anyways, my voice seems to be going. Let's have a good day. April 2014. Have a good one.